Hi, I'm Cheryl Keamy with Girls Gone Riding, a women's cycling community, and I'm back here again this week to give you another tip on preparing yourself for the road. This week we're going to talk about cycling shorts. I have to say that besides your bike and of course your helmet to keep safe, investing in a good pair of cycling shorts, or even a couple pairs of cycling shorts depending on how many times a week you expect to ride, is probably the most important investment you'll make so that you can be comfortable and be able to stay in the saddle as long as you like with the greatest amount of comfort. So the first pair I want to show you are actually a pair of tri-cycling shorts, which means they were developed for triathletes. They're very short compared to some of the other shorts that I own, and that means that they don't come down as long on your thigh as the others. They are made of a very thin fabric. You can actually see through them, where a lot of cycling shorts you cannot. And that is meant to keep you cool and also to wick the moisture away so that it can be evaporated and keep you dry and cool. And then the pad on the inside, this is the chamois, and the chamois inside is very thin, but it is made of a very nicely, not woven, but pressed out fabric so that it will not rub against you. It's very soft, and it will wick the moisture away from your body and keep you cooler longer. These are great for short rides. I am not a triathlete. However, they're very short, so your tan line isn't as long as if you wear longer shorts, which I like. And it also keeps you cooler because it's that same drying fabric that triathletes really relish. So I love these for a short weekday ride, an hour in the saddle, and they keep me cool and they keep the sun, the lines up higher on my leg. These are a great pair of standbys. These are Pearl Izumi shorts. They're very well made, but you can see how they're much longer than the tri shorts I showed you before, and they also have a great pad inside. Pearl Izumi spends a lot of time engineering the pads and making sure that they're comfortable. Particularly these ones are for women, and these ones are good for a couple hours in the saddle, no problem. The fabric inside wicks the moisture away from you, and it's also padded a little bit more firm. The dense padding inside keeps you comfortable a little bit longer, and these are great standbys for everyday or weekend riding. My favorite shorts of all, though, I have several pairs of these, are the gel shorts. These ones are actually made by Performance, and if you can see the pad inside, it looks kind of crazy, like almost like an egg carton design, but this is filled with a gel material. So if you felt the gel saddles, this one is made of the same material in the pad itself. Now my saddle is not gel, so I prefer it in the padding, where a lot of women and men would prefer the gel in the saddle itself, and then they wear a thinner pad. This one works great for me, particularly if I'm doing a charity ride or a long metric century or a regular century. This keeps me very comfortable. I don't have any problems with saddle sores with these. The fabric itself is made out of a microfiber, so once again it evaporates the moisture very quickly and very efficiently. These are heavy though. If you feel them, they do provide a lot more weight to them. So some people don't like that. Personally, I think they're great. So I use them for anytime I'm doing a metric century or a 100-mile ride. Those are the shorts I'll be wearing. Now I have a pair of less expensive. These were actually an incentive prize for a charity ride. I raised a certain amount of dollars and these ones are provided to me. So I know they weren't produced with the highest scientific standards, but they're great. They're great for a weekday, again, 20-mile ride or an hour and a half in the saddle, no problem. This fabric is comfortable, but it is not as highly engineered as the Pearl Izumi shorts or even the microfiber in the Performance shorts I mentioned. So it's not quite as drying. So therefore, I don't want to wear these for a long ride. I don't want to be 3-4 hours in the saddle and have these, because you could end up with saddle sores or some moisture being kind of harboring in your shorts. And I know that sounds disgusting, but that's exactly what you want to avoid. No breeding ground for bacteria. You want to make sure that you're clean and dry as possible in there. Now, if you're looking for some shorts or cycling apparel that you want to be really sleek and hot in, well, you can buy some of these shorts that are like skirts. These ones are actually really cute. Again, great for a short ride. If you're doing some kind of neighborhood ride or whatnot, it does have a pad in them, but it's a very thin pad. You can see it has really no protection there. It is a good fabric, so these are also made by Pearl Izumi, so it does evaporate quickly, but it really provides no cushion for your tush while you're riding. There's a few things to think about when you're investing in these. There are high-end and low-end shorts. You can spend anywhere from $30 to $150 for a pair of shorts. The difference is it's not just the name, as many people may think, but the fabrics that they choose are higher-end fabrics. The higher-end shorts, the ones you spend more for, are going to have a stretch in them that's a four-way stretch. As I mentioned with these Pearl Izumis, these ones will stretch both ways. And the reason that matters is when you're moving on your bike, if it's just stretching one way, sometimes you're going to feel a little pinch or a little tug if that's only a one-way stretch fabric. So the four-way stretch is one thing that is provided in a higher-end short versus the two-way stretch. Another thing is that the higher-end shorts have spent a lot more technology and scientific study on the design of the pads, so that they know exactly what parts of a woman's anatomy needs more support than others, and they have adequately spent time and money to put that proper padding in there so that you can have the highest level of comfort. Also, just the fabric that they choose. Some will be a nylon and spandex blend. Those are the less expensive ones. And if you know yourself, ladies, if you're wearing pantyhose on a hot, sweaty summer day, how uncomfortable that could be, that's because they're made out of nylon. So those that are strictly nylon and spandex are going to have less of that wicking property than some of the higher end weaves that are using highly scientific technology fabric to wick that moisture away from you. So that's what you want to look for, is wicking the moisture, preventing less breeding ground for bacteria, and just comfort on the bike, how you're going to be padded against your saddle while you're riding. You can replace the chamois, so if you spend say $100 or more on a pair of shorts and you feel your chamois wearing out, you can replace that chamois with pads that you buy online for anywhere from like $13 to $18. But then if you're not a seamstress, like I'm not a seamstress, you'd have to pay someone to sew them into your shorts. But it costs less to do that than to replace the whole pair of shorts. The last thing I want to make sure that you know, ladies, and this is going to go against everything Mom ever said to you about personal hygiene. No panties. There are no panties between you and your cycling shorts. It's important that you not use a thong, granny panties, bikinis, nothing. The reason why is that is going to cause more friction, which means more potential for saddle sores, as well as more breeding ground for moisture and bacteria. So ladies, don't tell anybody. Don't tell Mom if you don't want to. No panties with your cycling shorts. So that's the tip for the week, and I look forward to seeing you next week. In the meantime, if you want to read more about women's cycling, visit my blog at girlsgoneriding.blogspot.com. That's girlsgoneriding.blogspot.com. I look forward to speaking to you again next week, and ride on. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.